And then they've also added this layered image display, which is a very sophisticated way to display conservation images in layers. You'll be able to fade in and out to show different elements. So you can discover the UV images or the radiography images, et cetera. And they worked with a university to employ the algorithms that you learned about earlier in the TELDAP conference to line up those other conservation images with the image of the actual artwork. And then we're going to add an image comparison feature. It will automatically allow you to bring up a comparative image, and it will assume that you're going to compare to the main image under consideration and immediately bring up an overlay so that you can review and compare and contrast easily. So I keep talking about this collaboration because I think it's very important, and it's difficult to break out of the silos of working within our own institution and trying to be the first to come up with our own great ideas. We decided that we didn't have to be first, but we would build upon the great work that's already been done and try to make it better. We're customizing their prototype tools, and we're adding some new features. And the design front end will be very different. What we do will look like a very different catalog. You may not even realize we're using the same tools on the back end. So in summary, we want this collaboration to benefit everyone. I think this Getty project is a great benefit to the field. And I just really want to emphasize that you can use these tools yourself once we publish them on the common Drupal websites. You can make it look exactly like you want it to look. Maybe not exactly, but within the technological limits. And the reader's tools will also give you a basis for developing robust features with much less effort and much less expense. So I'm hoping we can adapt these, or I should say you can adapt these tools for use with Asian content and Asian art. So I hope it will be useful for you as well. Thank you very much.
So we still have a few minutes. Questions from the audience? Yes, please.
A question or a sort of desire as scholars. You showed that in your plan there is a possibility to add some notes on
yes.
the books that you are reading. And I was asking if this notes is, if I make a note, is visible only for me or is visible also for other users? Because this could be very useful.
For collaboration.
You go in a library and you took a book. Sometimes, moreover in university, there are a lot of notes, underlines, and this can be useful.
At the moment, they would only be visible to yourself, and it's a part. You would have to be logged on in order to create them and save them. We will have a feature where we will encourage comments to come in from other users or readers or scholars, but we find that we are a little less interested in just automatically putting online other observations, but we feel that those comments and ideas should sort of come to either our editor or our curator, and there should be some discussion and debate before we would maybe reintegrate that information into our material. We're trying to support this particular scholar's perceptions and findings about this artwork, and we want to show new ideas as well, but they won't be immediately integrated. We're thinking we may also add another tab for later addendums. It also brings up a point that Holly mentioned earlier, which is that these catalogs need to be citable for scholarly uses, right? And we're taking a kind of journal-like approach, at least so far, where we want this particular edition to be citable as an edition written by this author, but yet we do want to add updates, incorporate updates, and we also do have almost all of the content stored in the collections database and also coming from the collections database. So we do plan to show updates so that there will be a synchronized, what would you call it? Synchronized intellectual content so that new ideas are reflected. But other of our partners, like the Chicago Art Institute, have decided that they will not update their catalog. It will not be so integrated with the collections database. They want it to be a fully citable, standalone entity. And so it could be down the road that they make new findings about a particular object and they make those updates online, but yet the information could be considered wrong in the catalog that was created at this particular time period. So we're still all kind of wrestling with these issues about how best to show this body of thought by a particular author or group of authors and yet show the evolution of ideas. I think the evolution of the ideas, in my mind, is just as interesting as this particular scholar's ideas. Did that answer your question?
Yes, because one of the problems we are facing now is how we can trust crowdsourcing or information coming from the people compared to official informations. And this is an hard task to face.
And we believe in crowdsourcing, and we're working with that in our own collection, but we're, as part of the Steve social tagging project that you may have heard of, we were, I think, the most conservative member of the group in that we were concerned about getting wrong information from the crowd, so to speak, particularly about Asian art. We were getting tags mostly from people that are familiar with Western art, so we would get incorrect Asian art tags. They would take a Jain object perhaps and think that it was a Buddhist object, which it isn't. So we do want to review what we get from the crowd.
Question to the Harley.
Each of the OSCE projects is completely different, and one of the other Asian projects is the Seattle project. And Seattle is a small museum with not a lot of resources, and the curator there